So the activity today is to make a magical scene inside a big pot or a garden tray or an ice cream tub or something like that. This activity is best done outdoors, and especially the first part you will need to go out adventuring for. So you'll have to do this on your daily exercise when you leave your house, unless you're lucky enough to have a garden. But the first thing to do is go looking for materials to build your world with. So I've gone into my local park to find these, and I've found some twigs that look a bit like trees, so I'm going to arrange these later as trees. I found bits of bark, and I've got moss. This is the most important part of your scenery because it looks a lot like grass and it will stay green for quite a long time once you've built your world. Moss can be found, I found it in my local park. It's often found in shady areas under trees or by rocks. I've picked up loads of stones as well, which you can find pretty much anywhere. And feel free to pick up anything that you find that you think is interesting and that would go well in your world. And also feel free to use things from your house. So I've got some little toys and things that I've got. I've got some shells which I brought back from the seaside a couple of years ago. So yeah, just feel free to use anything to create any kind of scene that you want. But I'm going to show you how to make a basic world. So I'm using soil here, which ideally is what you would use to fill your world, and this would mean you kind of need to do this outside. If you are restricted to doing this inside, then once you've found your materials, you could always use scrunched up newspaper to create the kind of bed and then cover it with the moss that you found. So the first thing I'm going to do is fill my pot with soil. So once your pot's mostly full of soil, we're going to build in some features. So one thing that I thought I'd do is create a little lake by digging a yogurt pot in building the soil up around it, so later we can fill the yogurt pot with water and it'll be like a little pond lake feature. And then another thing you can do is using other yogurt pots or small garden pots. You can make hills by turning them upside down and then covering them with soil. I'll turn this round actually so you can see it that way. It's useful if your soil's a little bit wet for this part. It does make it more messy. And don't worry if you don't cover up all of your flower pots, because we're going to cover them in moss. So this is where the moss comes in. Now we're all covered in moss, I'm going to start putting some features in. So I can just put these trees in like that. Big one here. I'm going to add some stones. Fallen tree there, and maybe I'll add some of the things I found in my house. So you can add whatever you want, remember. Anything you pick up and find and think that would go nicely in my world. Put this mermaid here by the pond, and I can fill the pond with water. And then once you've built your world, it's really up to you how you engage with it. One thing that I thought might be nice to do is to try and write a story set in this world, maybe incorporate some of the characters you've put in there. So yeah, hope you have fun building these.